Here's a wee quick one for you. Makita skill saw, wee cordless brushless version. This is the DHS680 2021 machine, and she's a wee bit rough. Looks like it's been used out in the rain. Working. He says it's starting and stopping, but it's running fine for me here now. Doesn't smell like it's burning. Right, he says it's very intermittent. Sometimes it'll run, sometimes it won't, sometimes it'll run down on power. I open her up, see what the crack is inside. See if there's anything to be seen. Sometimes you can get a burnt lead or a bad contact inside. It can present with an intermittent fault. And there we go. Burnt contact. So that is the problem. He's been running it too hard and fast, dogging it, and doing it with using it for jobs that I shouldn't be using it for. She's a brushless machine, so she can draw quite a bit of amps. So when they draw too much, they draw about 30 or 40 amps out of it, and it starts to melt things. So you see the actual contact down in there. Plastic holder's actually melted, so that's got overheated, melted that, and burnt the actual spade connector, so that's now slack. So either fix this or replace it, and we'll replace this. That should fix the problem. As you can see, that lead is very short. Make it away with doing this once if you have to replace the connector. But before we do that, I'll make sure nothing else got burnt up. So it overheated this and burnt it. You could very easily have overheated the stator as well and burnt that. No, that looks okay. You would see them windings, one of them would be a different colour. It would be darkened a wee bit if it was burnt. That looks alright. Motor itself, still good. I always like that Makita saws, Makita tools. Bearings. Nice NSK bearings. Made in Indonesia, not Japan, but still, it's a good quality bearing. Any manufacturer put decent bearings onto their tools are planning on the tools lasting. So that's okay. So we'll just replace the spade connector, and that should solve the problem for this boy, and the battery connector too also. So the actual spade, hard to get a good one because they're a right angle one. You can't put on a straight one because you have no room. But this one hasn't actually burnt through. Normally they burn away the muddle of it from arcing, but this one's okay. So we might get away with keeping that. All I need to do is crush in a little bit to get better contact. And to ensure it doesn't happen again, we're going to solder it. So because that's burnt, the solder will not tick so easily. Get a wire brush and just rub it down with a wire brush. That'll clean away the burnt bits, the carbonized bits, and allow the solder to stick. Don't need a wild lot of solder, that is, because just need some on the top, because if it does ever happen again, that solder will re-solidify. Don't need an awful lot of solder on this, simply because if this ever does overheat, the solder will melt whatever you have on top and melt into this again and give you a better connection anyway. So that should be all we need for now. Now we just need one of these. And a quick way to tell without opening the machine to find out if you have melted one of these spades. So on the very bottom, look, these are your connectors here, your spades. The one that's melted will actually cover over with plastic. See where the plastic's melted over it. It's a good indication to tell you if you've melted one of these connectors inside. So that's so you want it to look. No burn marks. It's tighter because I crimped them or squashed them a bit. I just want a wee bit of solder on it without putting too much heat into it. That should do the trick. That should do the trick. Doesn't take an awful lot, just enough to hold it. And if it ever does heat again, there's a little dab on there that can melt in and re-solder the actual spade if it ever heats up again. Generally, when you get one of these in with that intermittent fault, starting and stopping, sometimes it runs, sometimes it doesn't. That's what the problem's going to be. One of them leads on the battery retainer burnt and melted. That should be her, ready to go. Sounds better already. Sounds it's got even more power. That's her. I'll keep that man running. If you ever look at the back of your saw, you can't see these two little silver lines. You get a burnt one like that. What you need to do is replace that retainer and fix the lead that's burnt. Either replace the spade connector that is at a right angle, or tighten it up and solder it on permanently. That's her.